At the face-off stripe, couple of beasts. Nick Rowlett for the Chaos, brother of Jack, and Mike Sisselberger for the Archers. Archers first placed in the West by record and score differential. Chaos trying to respond after they lost to the Redwoods in San Diego last week, 10-8. Troy Ray can't control it along the end line. It'll be Utah ball to start.
You know, this is a tough way to start.
His first goal as a pro, when they take that ball and Austin Kaut, the backup, wraps it up on the sideline.
I met a young man yesterday named Alex. He plays goalie. He's from Pittsburgh. Plays on his U12 team, wearing a Blaze Reardon jersey. It's his favorite player. That's the signature he wanted this weekend. It's because of plays like that.
And that immediately vaults contact, but you have no leverage. It shows you his strength with his wrists.
When he was playing at Michigan, he was the weight room warrior for the Wolverines, even at just 5'9".
I like this double pole technique they're using off the face-off to try to create a little bit more havoc, get their playmakers involved as much as via free agency and via the draft. And that's fine, but I feel like they've just gotten away from Josh Byrne in some of that evolution.
Yes, and I love him as a passer, and he's showing you that his game has become complete. But at the end of the day, he's like a lefty bona fide goal scorer.
Sisselberger tried to take it himself. Blaze with the save. Here comes Will Bowen. Chaos have scored 3 goals in the last 2 minutes. You go back to their last game in San Diego against the Woods last week. They were 1 for 14 shooting in the first quarter.
That he's going to the middle of the field, but he also brings his head with him too. So the defense completely bites because of the footwork of Ross Scott, followed by his head and his shoulders leaning.
It's another Oregon guy scoring a goal here in Baltimore. Saw Sam Hanley have a hat trick yesterday. Tucker Dordovic scored for the Whips. We'll see him again later this afternoon. Ross Scott hails from West Lynn, Oregon.
This big possession here for Archers.
What a character, what a player. Former MVP in 2021, and now a goal scorer in the PLL. Almost surprising it's taken him this long to score one, right guys?
He can rip it. He warms up Austin Kaut, their backup goalie, with an attack stick, and he's got a strong chance to be on Team USA.
The problem when you're defending Connor Fields, he's so good over the top in the middle, so they're kind of hedging him, forcing him below. But that's big for Connor Fields because Newman has really defended Connor Fields well in the past. But at times, he's unguardable.
You could see that jump or that dive shot coming a mile away.
Robbins on the scoop, straight toward Blaze, who makes the save and starts the outlet with a beautiful pass.
I thought Blaze could have come out and tried to pressure Fields, or
put it across his face for a twister. Is he going around the world? Drops it low.
Does that count as a Canadian egg roll?
No, that was not
one-handed. You got 2 hands for the egg roll.
Okay.
That's the 3rd goal between Jack's
plan with his game. He just rolls with, okay, you're going to overcommit, play me topside, I'm going underneath. You go underneath, I'm going to play you on the top. He has the counter for everything, and then you throw the creativity and the skills. He's a Houdini.
That's where I think you got to make him a passer when he's dodging. He's got an assist already today, but that was in transition. There you see Rowlett. He's late on that slide. But if he can't, that's a difficult pass to make.
Here's Schreiber sweeping across, rings it off the iron.
Still a shot, still a shot.
That's Carolina ball, yeah. Ambler really went after it. Burns scoops it up. Now Ambler playing defense. Geddes from a sharp angle scores. Hope you took the over, folks.
What a GB RB by Josh Byrne.
It's the little plays. It's the ground ball here by Josh Byrne. I said still a shot, still a shot. He was right there. And then look at this little nifty pickup. The one hand to get really protect his stick from Hasek. And then in transition, he hits Geddes, who's running the field wisely. I love what Geddes brings to them in transition. I'd like to see them run more between him, Resch, and McKay. They all have offensive capability.
He's got crazy speed, Geddes. But I thought he was running out of angle. I was like, if you're not going to shoot this beyond the back, it's not going in. But he squeezed it past Dobson, and the passing once again from Josh Byrne. I'm with you. It's just that we're up in the booth saying, let's slide to Connor Fields. Well, if you show early, he's going to do that.
Fields has had a hand in all 4 goals. He scored 2. He's assisted on O'Keefe's 2. And as the ball trickles toward the sideline, it'll take us to the end of the first quarter.
I think what Connor Fields is doing, too, he's smart. He's not getting into the plate a lot of midfield during that time, too, where you're seeing that comparison. Now he's back at attack. He's got to deal with his old teammate. And Fields has been a storyline in terms of the way that this offense is working. And the question is Newman the right matchup moving forward?
And also, you look at 4 for 5 shooting. I mean, where are those shots?
A lot. You see how comfortable he is in the offensive set. And then the faith of Coach Bates to say, okay, Rook, you can stay on.
My mistake, Mason. That's his 2nd goal of his rookie season. Playing defense, 1st-round pick out of Marquette, 8th overall.
You know, I think a player like that that's asked to do so much with his college team.
For weight, he doesn't let the defense get organized and structured behind it. He aggressively attacks it right away and gets that off before any slide can come. High IQ in terms of, like, wait, I have a short stick? Like, yeah, I'm going to the rack.
Yep, and I always think when you roll and you shoot immediately out of that roll, you can use the momentum of the roll. And it's more power. It's handed with his right. I honestly think if you asked Josh Byrne to do that two-handed, he probably would have missed the cage.
Or he'd say, can I shoot a two-handed left-handed backhand?
Backhand, exactly. The one-handed, right-handed shot is something he's way more comfortable with.
Here's a stalemate. Sisselberger and Rowlett. These guys have taken now all 14 face-offs against each other.
Sisselberger, the wrestler from Lehigh in orange, should have the advantage here.
Flags everywhere.
Rowlett's going to be
goes
flagged.
down, and while Nick,
99 in white,
while
watch him.
Nick was in the stalemate, his brother Jack gets called.
1 minute, cross check to the back.
He didn't like what was going on with little brother.
Embellishment here, or is this legit? You make the call.
This is a couple of Tar Heels here. Rowlett lays out Marr, or at least encourages him to the ground.
Yeah, that's a dive.
I think it's a dive. He got him a little high originally, but
Marr sold that for sure.
He knows it was sold too. He's not happy about that.
Seller's market.
Yeah, that's how he
Seller's
thinks.
market on a Sunday. Surprised Matty Palin bought that.
Well, you heard Andy Towers' thoughts.
And this is a good power play unit by Utah. I mean, they're 2nd in the league at 38%. They've got passers, they've got shooters, so it's like deal with Tom Schreiber with the skip pass. Trey.
I could hear it hit the net on the sideline. It snapped. It snapped the upper
Drew's
corner.
calling it out at 102. The speed is frightening, but what makes it even more difficult to deal with is how quick he gets it off.
It's the release.
He caught that off the skip pass, and in one motion, he snapped that at hyperspeed.
Lefty goalie has zero
chance.
chance to make that. Zero chance to make that save.
It's getting physical. Will Bolt history. It's how they've stayed in the mix at 3 and 4. And they are set up well here in the second half, leading by 1 as we start the 3rd quarter.
My issue with that, Drew, is like, I don't know if they're built necessary for like a shootout, right? This is outside of their comfort zone. Can they sustain this offensively?
Meanwhile, the Archers, they're good right here. Sisselberger owned the stripe in the first half, 14 for 18. Against Nick Rowlett here again, and that's scooped up by Graham Hosick, and he starts the break. With that short shot clock after the face-off win, sharp angle shot, Reardon kicks it away, now 4 away from 1,000 for his PLL career.
Looks like he slipped, you're gonna get trail checked.
It's Knobloch's cradle into release.
Yes.
Rowlett straight off the draw. Good trail check from the Archers. If we had heard the end of Andy Towers' huddle there, maybe he would have said,
Give it to Knobloch.
Hey, Knobber, sprint down the...
Above the 2-point arc.
A lot like yesterday when we knew Graham Bundy had that awareness, right? Like he took the steps back a little bit to get the 2. I think he just said, well, maybe I'm shooting on the best goalie in the world. Maybe I need to get in a little bit more and get a 1 rather than gamble on a 2.
Yeah, I mean, the long 1, though, he's right inside the 2-point arc.
That's a shot you would never see in the NBA today.
It wouldn't lack energy.
That's for sure. Love how Matt Palin flips the hat around when he's looking at tape, when he's watching TV, as he says.
Towers would walk into the podcast all pumped up after doing bicep curls.
Live from Ocean Pride. We got a sponsor.
5 minutes left in the second quarter. It's Carolina by 1. This has been a great
Straight line Dodgers in the league, along with a guy like Michael Sowers. To hit the brakes and then to go upfield and change your hands. I think one of the most underrated pieces to Brian Minikis' game is how two-handed he is.
That's an S dodge, and the key defensively is to push him behind the net a little harder.
Schreiber gets to his left.
I think he's hurting, though. Quint, I think Blaze is not himself right now. The last 2 shots prior to that goal soaked it right on the knee.
He got hit in the shins early in that first half, too. I'm just interested in both teams. 22 minutes to play, okay? It's 93. It feels like an absolute swamp down here. Guys came out of the locker room at halftime covered with sweat. Utah Archers laid on the field. This game,
4th time this year.
I'm not shocked that he's in the injury tent. You just saw the way he was moving. I mean, that guy gets hit with shots all the time, but these were different, right? You just saw that he was tentative to move.
He got tagged in the toe. He got tagged
the toe
in the
as
toe.
well. Wow.
And they're looking at the toe right now. And you hope they can.
Did it keep you out of games?
No, never that bad. It's his right foot.
I mean, these shots are moving at 100 miles an hour. They can break a toe.
It's his offside foot. You're generally going to get hit more on your offside shin,
That's your
thigh,
lead foot, right?
and foot because, well, offside shots you're gonna probably step more than rely on your stick.
Can seemingly gain leverage on a short stick after 1 or 2 steps. He's that fast.
Minikis now with 2 goals, one of 5 Chaos players with multiple goals. Minikis, Byrne, Jackson, Knobloch, and Scott all have 2.
In a 10-yard dash, I don't think, like, explosiveness, first step, he's as quick as Michael Sowers, but in a 10-yard dash, I think he could beat anyone in the league. Minikis.
His teammate.
He's got a vision of where the goal is and often doesn't need to look. It's incredible.
It's like a
spatial
6th
awareness.
sense.
You know, a few weeks back I said it, and you're too young, Drew, to understand who this is, but Gumby, he's Gumby with pig grease all over.
I'll take your word for it. And they start the 4th quarter on the power play, but here in the PLL, we start with a face-off.
That's a huge win
Massive.
by Nick Rowlett.
Nick Rowlett, he had been getting dominated all day. He was only 5 for 26 until that one. Gives the Chaos a chance to call timeout with 17 seconds left on the power play.
Quinn once said, all fitting today. We're seeing the best version of this offense we've seen the entire season.
And I think a big part of that is just running the ball more through Josh Byrne offensively.
That's what I said earlier in the 3rd quarter, right? Like, just let him do his thing because he's shown you he's an elite passer.
This is their best output since week 1 in Albany. And Ross Scott, by the way, his first career hat trick. That was his 3rd goal.
Straight
He
up the
has
field.
more unassisted goals halfway through this season than he did in any other season.
How much more do you need to see a guy just win a one-on-one matchup and finish the shot?
Wouldn't you want a double pole here? Schreiber and Ament.
Archers tie it up. Trey LeClaire with a hat trick. Looks pretty comfortable playing attack, doesn't he?
His positional flexibility and comfort at both attack and midfield. I mean, he rips this in transition. Geddes slides upfield. He's got a ton of space, and he just hammers.
Stick's low, right? Stick is low, like it's a fake and an overhand rip in one. But credit Chris Bates. The last 2 goals is why he's smarter than me. Because I would have said, just put Amen in for Matt Moore. No. Put Trey LeClaire down at that spot. Keep Amen, who just had an unassisted goal 2 goals ago, as the Dodger, and put Trey in there. And don't disrupt the offense.
And Quint, the issue is if you double pole and you put a short stick on LeClaire.
Watch the tape of him at Notre Dame. That was his go-to move. Like, start on one high end and then sweep across the middle.
You saw Jules Henningberg on the sideline, too, acting as the assistant coach today, out with an injury.
Dobson from Jacksonville.
Margin for error. I mean, Blaze is a lefty goalie. if you look at 3 of his outside shots today, they're all to the opposite corner of Blaze's stick.
5 ties, no lead changes. Carolina took a 4-0 lead right out of the chute. And the Archers have yet to edge in front. They're tied throughout. The Archers are in with a win. They'd be 5-2 in good position to win the West. Meanwhile, the Chaos trying to get to 500. Sisselberger goes to the jump shot off the face-off win. 28 to shoot.
How about the effort from Sis on that one, right? His 50th shot for the Archers. I mean, this is an offense that's moving the ball at hyper speed, but just throwing a lot of rubber Blaze's way.
Reardon has made his 1,000th career save here in this 4th quarter. Also scored the first goal of the game. 4 minutes to play. Archers trying to tie or take the lead. Ambler, who's one of the few guys who's quiet today. 6 to shoot.
Shot clock, yeah.
15th.